Hey team, now that we've got our rover built, let's go ahead and program it. Let's fire up our We Do. This always takes longer than we'd like, but patience is a virtue. It'll load just as soon as it can. While we're waiting, we should think about what we want our rover to do when we power up the motor. So let's go ahead and just launch a new program. There we go. And we'll just quit out of that. So here we go. We've got our program running. Let's connect to our smart hub. We don't see any, so let's power up our robot. Now we see it, so let's connect to it. Perfect. We'll exit out. And now we'll load up our motor and let's set it, whenever we're doing something new, let's try and dial that power back so that we don't have any big surprises. And if we look at our icons, we can see this has the motor running clockwise, which we can see here is exactly how our motor's set up. And we'll have it run for, let's say, 1 second. That looks pretty good. And let's run it. Now, when we do this, what's going to happen is this part here is going to turn clockwise. But the gear beneath it, how do you think it's going to turn? Well, that's a good thing to think about. Why don't you imagine what you think is going to happen? And the great thing about robots is you don't have to wait long. We're going to run the program and see what happens. And the motor fell off. If that happens to you, don't worry about it. It happens to everyone. Not a big deal. Let's go ahead and try that again. So, could you see what happened? Let's run it again. So the robot went in this direction. The top gear turned counterclockwise. And how do you think the bottom gear turned? Let's take a peek at that. Because this is going to be one of those things that takes a little while to get used to with robots. They turn in opposite directions. Can you see that? That's pretty cool. That's how to program the new version of Rory the Rover.